Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Figs Outside. So today we're going to be doing a review on the Core straight wall cabin tent with a full Rainfly. So let's check it out. This is actually a supposed 10-person tent, but more like a 5-person tent with a little bit of gear. So here's the box. So there it is, Core tent. Ooh, let's zoom out a little bit here. So it is a 14 by 10 by 86 inch peak height, which is up here. So obviously 14 feet by 10 feet, but it's 10-person straight wall cabin tent with a full Rainfly. Kind of like a little vestibule here. This is the darker colored one, and then it's got the guy lines. But anyway, we're gonna get this all set up, and we're gonna open it up, and then we'll start setting it up, and that's probably gonna be in like a speed mode. So here we go. Got the box open. Comes in a nice big bag here. This is pretty heavy. I would say this tent's probably right around like the 30 to 35 pound mark, maybe a little over. So it's made in Bangladesh, which I guess that's a lot better than China, huh? So it's got this, got some straps here, and it's going to be really hard with one person. So I'm going to get it out of the box, and then we'll check it out. So got it out of the box. It actually comes with a really nice carry bag. It's got these buckles. There's actually plenty of room in the bag, because usually that's a big deal. Like, they come pre-wrapped up and the bags are really tight, and you're never going to get those tents back in there the way that they came. So it's actually pretty sweet. Come with these nice carry straps, little Velcro piece so you carry them together. Got these so you can tighten it, loosen it. But what's pretty sweet is it's got the buckles, so that's kind of nice. Feels like a pretty heavy duty bag. Everything is double stitched, so got a pretty decent zipper. And there's what the tent looks like. 10-person straight wall cabin Rainfly with full Rainfly, excuse me. Already showed you guys earlier, it's 10 by 14 by 86 inches high. Full Rainfly coverage, so there's that, and there's that. So it could fit 4 air beds, queen size. And it looks like it might be pretty tight. But like I said, they always say 10-person, but in reality, you're gonna go by half of that. So 5 people with a little bit of gear. So a center height of 86 inches, I'm 6'2", so that's gonna be really nice. And so there's the little vestibule part, and these roll down, so that's pretty sweet. So this tent will be fully enclosed. But yeah, let's go ahead and pop it open here. Let's see, where's the zipper at? Nice little tab on the zipper. Of course, it's going to be in a cardboard box. Oh, and that's really sweet too. So instead of having just loose instructions on how to set this thing up, it comes with it attached to the carry bag. Hold on, guys. That's really sweet. So there's the instructions here. Tells you how to do it, and that's pretty nice. They like that. It's like that waterproof material. So it's pretty sweet. And that's different language, but it gives you some frequently asked questions, 1-year limited warranty. So that's all pretty sweet. Plus it gives you the takedown instructions, which pretty much is going to be the reversey. So anyway, we're going to get this out of the box, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, so got it out of the box. The poles were in the middle of it, and that looks like these are the poles, and this is like the goodie bag, part of the Rainfly. It even has a floor repair kit, but it feels like some tent stakes are in there. I don't know how those are going to look, but anyway, so of course it comes with the old tie straps. But yeah, anyway, we're going to get this out, and then we'll show you guys the next step. Okay, so we got it all laid out. That's actually the front of the tent. There's the logo over there. There's the back door right here. So we got it all laid out there. And I imagine the guy lines are those that are wrapped up. So Rainfly, I'm not quite sure what that is yet. But here's the tent stakes. They're a little bit thicker than your normal tent stakes that come with like your Walmart tents and whatnot. They're pretty heavy duty. They're probably 1/8 inch in diameter. I would definitely go with like the spike style, especially if you're going to be camping in an area where the ground's a little bit tougher, very hard with a lot of clay or rocks. But I have plenty of those spike style ones, but this is what came with it. Here are the poles here. So there's a fiberglass pole and the rest of them are aluminum. So that is them there. So anyway, we're going to follow the instructions. I'm going to set this up. Anyway, and then we'll start putting it together. And like I said, it's probably going to be in speed mode. I'll time it to see how long it takes. But yeah, pretty sweet. Okay, let's get to it. Quick little update. So those are not the guy lines wrapped up in these. It's actually the peak pieces, the corner pieces. They come in their own little bag. The bag is attached, so that's pretty sweet actually. Could possibly keep it from putting holes in your tent. So that's pretty sweet. So, okay. Okay, quick walk around. So here's the Rainfly. So Rainfly is a full Rainfly, so it's really large. You could do it with one person, but yeah, it's gonna be way easier with two. So you can see the guy lines there. All the way down. You gotta stretch this thing. Oh, there's the core logo. So it says to line up the core logos. So core logo there, core logo there. So you line those up. So yeah, because there's the corner pole. So there's a guy line. It's going to be off the corner. So yeah, so there it is. Okay. So now we will get back to setting this. Okay, so there it is there. That is time. It's a little bit longer than that. I forgot to do it, so it's like 25-ish minutes. That's just for the front half. I'm not going to set out all the guidelines just because I want to show you guys the tent. I'm not going to set it all up because we're just going to have to take it all back down. So, full Rainflies. These are actually really sweet because they're zippers. Oh, that's kind of nice. So they're Velcroed. And you can zip them. So it gives you access to the windows, just like it does for the little vestibule here. Same over there. It's got these little flat tabs. So it's kind of nice that there's dinky little button ones. So that is that there. Let's see. And if you need to, and you're camping in the backyard, it comes with the little cord deal, which is Velcro. It's pretty nice. So here we go, and there is a ton of room above my head. Little storage hanging bag, internal window closure. And so the other little piece is actually a dividing wall. You could still kind of see through it. I mean, but hey, you know what? Whatever. So in a lot of ways, that's kind of nice, especially if it's just two adults camping. You're camping around some other people. You could actually have your little day area here, evening, whatever, and you could have your mattress over there. Have this side pointed toward the campers, so it's a little more screening protection. Mesh top. You see it attaches to the points. So this is actually it's pretty good size. Pretty good size footprint. All the zippers have nice orange tabs. That's really nice, so you don't have to fish around for them. So I'm 6'2", so you can see I have plenty of room. I can almost put my arm up, my not fully extended obviously, but that's a lot of room. That is a lot of room, especially compared to most tents. Nice straight walls, so you get more area to set up your cot or your mattresses without having to touch the wall and get the condensation. Pretty heavily vented, that's really nice. And plus there's a lot of windows, and the windows are pretty good size. Like I said, and plus you can roll those edges up. Even without them rolled up, you roll them up part of the way and still get a lot of ventilation in here. That's pretty sweet.
For the Rainfly, you mean?
Oh yeah, for the Rainfly. So yeah, you can use, I would say, yeah, this is definitely 5 people with a little bit of gear.
Sleeping bag, pillows, backpacks.
Another little hanging bag storage thing here. So, see that? This way. I live on the hill, so this is downhill. But see, there's plenty of room. You could easily do 5 people on this. Yeah, pretty easily. Without the half wall, you could probably fit 2 queen mattresses in here, 2 queen air mattresses. So pretty excited. This would be nice, having a little more room. In the video, like I said, it's going to be in fast mode. So underneath here, above the doors, you'll put the Rainfly on, then you got to fold the edges up, and that's where these little bowed fiberglass poles are going to go. So that's a quick tip right there. What else? So yeah, you'll see it in the instructions. They're pretty easy to follow. So there's 2 really long poles. This tent is 14 feet long. So the long poles are going to go crossways. There's a nice loop on the top. Instead of having the old ones where you have to tie the loop, it's a fixed loop, and it's not the tent material. It's actually like a fabric, kind of like a big heavy duty shoelace. So those will go across the top. You got to be sure, because when you try to do the ends, the tent bows down. So you just got to make sure you bow it back up. Yeah, and they'll go across, and then the gray pole goes over this way, the black poles go this way. These little fiberglass ones here, ones with the bottom of the orange feet, as you guys can see, they go on there, and it slips over these rings. So that's a tent peg, but there's a ring there with that little piece on it, and that ring slid. These are tapered inwards like a cone, so that's really nice. It just kind of guides it in there. All these of the Rainfly have this elastic bungee stuff on it. Same on the outside. The zippers have that nice orange string. This is pretty orange. I'm not really sure how to use those, so I just did a little quick pull hitch knot there. I would actually use something like night eyes that's reflective, so when you hit it with your headlamp or a flashlight, it reflects so you don't trip over them. So this for those double windows, rolls up right here. Like I said, these are the guy lines. But yeah, this is a core tent, so pretty sweet. Obviously, I don't have it stretched out over here. The guy lines were up against the rocks. Like I said, we live on a mountain, so everything's on a hill. But that's kind of nice how that pops it up, and it slopes off pretty good that way. Slopes off really well that way also, so it's going to shed the rain quite a bit. And yeah, this fits on there really nice. So that is the core 10-person straight wall cabin tent. What do you guys think, huh? Anyway, I will be posting a link down in the description below, so you can check that out. Yeah, these tents have a lot of reviews, a lot of really good reviews. The only bad part of the reviews is, but I don't see it as a bad part of the review. It's a big tent. It's 10 by 14 by like 8 feet tall. So, yeah, it's going to take a little bit to set up, especially with the guy lines that are on it. Sorry, I zoomed in on you guys. But, you know, hey, if you're going to use it, you know, set it up first in your yard, just like we did. And that way you can figure it all out. That way when you get up to wherever you're going to be camping, it's going to be really easy. So next, we're going to get this thing down, and we're going to roll it back up and get it in its carry bag and see how difficult that is, because I mean that bag has a lot of room, so it shouldn't be that bad. When a lot of them, you know, they come pre-packaged in its own little carry case and they are tight. So when you pop that zipper, it's almost like a popping a hay bale. It just kind of pops up on you, and then when you try to roll it back up, you're doing everything, and you need everybody and their grandma and to hold it down and tuck it in and do all that. So we'll see how easy that is. I'm not going to film that part, us taking it down. All right, y'all, so got her back in the bag. It actually wasn't too bad. The Rainfly is a little more difficult to fold up just because it's, you know, it's a weird shape. But the tent itself, not too bad. There's plenty of room in the bag. See, there's still a lot of room. So this is lengthwise. So you fold it like 4 to 5 times. And then we folded it into itself over, and then we just rolled it up. And of course, you got to get the air out of it because it's nylon, it's going to hold air. But then once you rolled it up, got all the pulls in the bag, zips up, still have plenty of room. You can see, hold on guys. So you can see there's still a lot of room in this bag. So that's huge. That's a big benefit. Plus it's really nice, makes it easier on the carry straps too, that you have these buckles, which is going to take a lot of the pressure and the tension off the width of the bag, and it's going to help the stitching to last a little bit longer. So there it is, guys. That is the core 10-person tent. So thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out, and yeah, appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe if you haven't already. And like I said earlier, I'll be posting a link down below where you could check these out on Amazon. It was the cheapest place that I found them, you know, but it is what it is. Anyway, there's different versions of this tent without the full Rainfly also. You could check those out. Anyway, guys, hope you have a great day. Until next time. Bye-bye.